A body experiences SHM at a rate of 10 oscillations per minute with an amplitude of 4 centimeters. Find an expression for the displacement x of the body from a fixed point O at time t if the body starts from, first of all, x equals 0, initially travelling in the positive direction. Well, let's do a little bit of preliminary work here. If we have 10 oscillations per minute, that means one oscillation is 6 seconds. And one oscillation is the period. So the period is 6 seconds. We know that t is equal to 2 pi on k. So 6 is equal to 2 pi on k. And that means k is 2 pi on 6, which is pi by 3. And that's going to be important in all three parts of the question. Now, in the first part of the question, we know that we're starting here. We know the amplitude is 4. We're starting here and going this way. And as we said in the introduction, that's usually just given as a sine and we don't need an angle. So x is going to be 4 sine pi by 3t. Now, we also discussed this situation in the intro, x equals 4. So that would mean our particle starting here. And we can cover that with a cos or a sine of pi by 3t plus pi by 2. So it's usual to go for a cos in that situation. And we'll just do 4 cos pi by 3t. Now the third one's a bit more difficult. X equals 1, initially travelling in the negative direction. So let's think about that situation. So we're travelling along this line here, going from negative 4 to 4, and here's our mean point, but our particle is starting here at 1, and not only that, but it's going that way. So we're going to need to think about that one. To start with, I'm just going to say that this is 4 sine pi by 3t plus alpha. And really, we're centering around finding the alpha. And because we know about this direction, we're also going to need to think about the velocity. So differentiate and we get 4 pi by 3 cos pi by 3t plus alpha. So let's start by thinking about the displacement. So we know it starts here at positive 1, and therefore we can say, well, 1 is equal to, if t is equal to 0, 4 sine alpha. So that means that sine alpha is a quarter, and if we think about our cast diagram, there's going to be two solutions here and here. So this could be our alpha, or that could be our alpha. So the two angles, just using the calculator, are 0.253 radians and 2.889 radians. So to decide which one it is, let's think about the velocity. So if you do v of 0.253, that is going to be 4 pi by 3 cos 0.253. Well, 0.253 is an acute angle, and therefore that one is positive. If you do v of 2.889, that's 4 pi by 3 cos 2.889. That is an obtuse angle, and therefore that's going to be negative because only the sine is positive for an acute angle. So it's got to be that one, and so we can say that x is going to be 4 sine pi by 3t plus 2.889.